today's episode, we sit down with Qynton Davis, a person who started from 0 subscribers, and you hear in the podcast how many subscribers he has today. We're going to talk about all the tricks he used, and you want to stay until the very end of the video because he tells you how you can start your YouTube channel today. There's a lot of different reasons why people do not start their podcast. One of the reasons is because they are afraid to be judged by others, right? And so in your story, did you ever face that challenge? And if so, how did you overcome? How do you pass that mindset of, yes, people might view me in a certain way, but I'm still going to produce content?
So if I'm being 100% honest, I never really, at least when it came to content, I never really struggled with like the difficulty of being judged. And a big reason is because in the space in which I went into, there were also some other people who I saw that had tried it out. And I saw that the reception that their channels got. And I looked at those and I was like, I can do better than that.
Good cue. Let's go.
Just because I've been in high school, right? I was taught how to like make videos and how to like storytell. So going into it, I had like a expectation that it would be relatively successful because I've seen there's high demand and low supply of it just because of the nature of the videos that I make. But yeah, didn't really ever struggle with like thinking that I was gonna be judged. It's either you like what I got going on or you don't, and you don't gotta be here. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. It's either you're with Q or not, right? I think you mentioned something very interesting, which is you saw that other people were successful in doing what they do, right? And so
For sure.
sometimes people might be overwhelmed with the thought, you know what, some other people already doing this, therefore I should not do that. How would you answer a person with who thinks that way?
Well, that view can be somewhat founded if you're trying to do exactly what somebody else is doing, right? But just doing something within the same realm of like the type of video that somebody makes, it's like if somebody's making that video and it's doing really well, it's successful, that benefits the entire community as a whole because it gets more people looking for alternative videos in that same space. So what I would say to somebody who's starting a channel but thinks that it's already been kind of played out, the more people that come in, the more fans or listeners that come in. And that means that there's more people to potentially corral towards your channel. So I wouldn't let that stop anybody from doing anything like that.
Right, you just have to bring your special twist, right, to the content and just delivering to the people, right?
No,
and
absolutely.
And so where to even start when it comes to content, right? I think one of the books that we're actually discussing on this podcast is the YouTube Secret, right? And so it talks about like focusing on your passion, focusing on your strength, and focusing also in a niche that might be profitable, right? Because you do not necessarily want to start a YouTube channel about things that nobody cares about, right? And so for you, how did you combine all those three different elements to come up with something unique of your own?
Well, yeah, it would be kind of tough to grow a channel if you're making stuff about things that people don't care about.
Right.
It's very tough for sure. But you said combining the three elements of making something that people care about, and then sorry, what were the other two?
Something people care about, what you are good at, and then something that you're passionate about. Those three things, using
Oh
them can
yes.
actually help you to create your content, right? And so, how are you
Yeah.
able to use that, or if you used it into coming up with the content that you're making?
So I I think there's something within every interest that has pull in YouTube. So pretty much what I did, kind of going back to what I said before, was go to different people that also somewhat did kind of like this a similar thing on YouTube, and just kind of tailoring it towards more of my experience. Because one thing about a lot of these people on YouTube, they're experts on their opinion, they're experts on their experience. And people like to see other people's perspectives on different things that they're not that used to. So if you're able to kind of play into that, like going into it, that's kind of what I was kind of playing off of. The videos that I was making and that I still continually make is day in the life type of videos of somebody who's in the professional baseball space, right? And in that, I'm an expert in knowing how to grind to get to a certain spot in professional baseball because it's my experience, right? Other people may have like questions on like or wonder like what it may be like to travel that road without necessarily wanting to go through all of the different ups and downs and twists and turns that you have to go through in order to get there. So that's when they come to YouTube. That's when they come to watch, and that's when you know the views begin to go up. So I honestly think that for somebody who's like starting to kind of combine the passion, the uh getting into something that people care about, and the third thing that you said, one good place to start is tailoring it towards your own experience.
Right? Because nobody else has the type of experience that you have, right? You are the
For sure.
master of your story. Nobody can nobody can be out there and start talking about, hey, what's up? I'm Qynton. No, bro, you're not Qynton. Right? You're not experiencing what Qynton is actually living. And so, do you remember the first episode you dropped, first video that you dropped? Were you surprised about the numbers of reaction you got, how many views you received from that video?
So I remember the first baseball video that I dropped. It was, I think, November of 2023, right? And I was kind of going into it expecting it. It was a 5-year growth plan. So I was kind of going into it expecting to have like under 100 views, and just kind of building up as time goes on. I dropped, and I believe the first day it got like 250 views. And back then I was like, wow, that's like a crazy amount of people. Like, I don't even know 250 people. You feel me? So like, I thought it was kind of chill. But where the surprise really came was the second video, because when I dropped the second video, that one just kind of blew up relatively quickly. And when that blew up, when I say blow up, it got like maybe 8,000 views or something like that within like the first 2 weeks. And when that one blew up, it motivated people to look at the other content that I had, which at the time was only just one video, but that kind of propelled that that video to get a solid amount of views as well.
Mm,
So, but yeah, it definitely was a surprise because I was definitely expecting to, you know,
to
have
tank.
not too
Yeah,
many views.
I
Yeah,
see.
I was expecting the views to kind of tank
Hey,
at the
I feel
beginning.
that. And so you mentioned that your second video got more success, right, than your first video. And so what was different about that second video?
That video, it was two things. One was the title. So people tend to like seeing success, right? And they like to see suspense, or they click on things that portray suspense, right? So this. particular video, I was detailing how I made it onto a team, like a free agent type of team, right? But the way that I titled it, it was kind of like to create like suspense, like to for people to think like, what team is this guy on? I think I titled it like I made the team or something of that nature.
Mm,
And if you're a person who's not really that privy to what I had going on in the previous video,
yeah.
then you'll look at it and be like, what team did this guy make? And that motivates
Mm,
you to click it. That motivates you to watch until you see, oh, this is what happened. And then when I say people like to see success, you do some like if they since they saw that, it motivated them to kind of press the like button, and with getting the like button press, it sends it out to more people who does the same thing, which is the whole thing behind the algorithm. If you get more people to uh, click like and then engage with the video through the comments, which also was like a big thing, it sends it out to more people who are likely to do the same thing.
right. I really like what you mentioned about the title, right, of the video, creating suspense around it. Because it's one thing to have a very good video, but if you are not able to package it well or sell it well, nobody's going to watch it, right? And so, yeah, could you tell us how many subscribers you actually have?
Right now, I think I'm a shade under 2,000.
All right. And so, one of the many reasons people get into the whole YouTube thing is to be sometimes is to be able to make money, right? And
Mhm.
so, when did you started to make money out of creating content?
Well, if we're talking about profitability, I'm not profitable yet, right? Because of the money that I've put into the content. But I began getting monetized in April of last year. So I started the channel in November of 2023. And then April of 2024 is when I began getting monetized, which was like a span of maybe 12 or 13 videos, I believe. Something of that nature.
Nice. Okay, cool. So within 13 videos, you start getting monetized, being approached by different brands and trying to see if there's opportunities, for sponsorship, right?
Oh no, I think with the sponsorship thing, it is kind of surprising how they reach out even when you don't have like a lot. Because if we're being honest, there's people with more than 2,000 subscribers on the platform, right? But there are certain brands that kind of just look for, they call it like micro influencers to market their product. So because the way that they look at it is that if you have like a smaller audience, but you have an audience, they're likely going to be more loyal. So then they're likely going to get the product that you're putting out because they're more of a community rather than a multitude of people.
So yeah, people can just start and then with small subscribers, they can start being profitable, right? So
Oh, for sure.
yeah. And so within 1 month, right, of starting your YouTube channel, what have you learned within that first 1 month? What are things that you've learned?
Well, I learned that longer videos is really what makes the money on YouTube. I used to think that if you do short videos, since a lot of people's attention span is getting smaller, I thought that that would be kind of like the way to go. But what I find is that if you maintain interest throughout the entire video, whether or not it be 11 minutes, whether or not it be 15 minutes, whether or not it be 2 hours, people will stay to watch. And YouTube will push it more. No, sorry, YouTube will reward it more anyways, because their whole thing is they're trying to get people to stay onto the platform. So the longer the video is, the longer people that are watching your video, the longer they'll be on YouTube, and the more YouTube will push it out and pay you based on that amount of time.
So you mentioned about basically retention, right? And so what are some
Yes.
strategies that you used to increase that retention on your channel for the video that you produced?
Suspense. That's the big thing. Got to know what the people want and got to give it to them at the end of the video. If you look at all the best YouTubers, like like a Mr. Beast and things of that nature, right? They go into the video with like a competition, and people are going to stay until they see the winner. But you, of course, don't get the winner at the beginning of the video, which is why his videos have such crazy retention. You're going to get the winner at the end of the video. And so just trying to incorporate the content strategy around knowing what the people want, which comes with posting a lot. You kind of get to see like different trends and uh, what different people, because YouTube gives you like a graph of retention. If you see like a peak in like a certain area, that means that they watch that part a little bit more. If you're able to kind of like analyze that and see what the people want, then you're able to kind of like pace the video in a way in which you put what they want near the end while still maintaining interest until you get to the end.
Right. And so maintaining interest until the very last minute, right? Um,
Mhm.
I have to ask you this: why? Some people can be listening to us today. They'll be like, you know, Q, I get it, I get that. I need to keep the people on the platform. I hear you, but why should I even start a YouTube channel? What would you answer to them?
I think the whole thing is just scalability, right? As business people, we want to scale. We, at least for the most part, right? We want to scale. You don't want to stay small forever. And I think one of the easiest ways to be able to scale it is by creating content. Because the fact of the matter is, again, you're the expert of your own experience, and your experience is distinct from a large majority of um, people that may be watching the videos, right? And so if you just record what you do on a day-to-day basis and center it around something that will make it more engaging or entertaining, you're automatically giving yourself an opportunity to make more money based just doing the same thing that you're doing already. You feel what I'm saying? And so it's easier to scale that because you don't really have to put in as much work into getting people to watch the videos. The algorithm will help you out with that. And then you can just get paid for uh well, not babysitting, because you probably can't take probably can't take a video of like the baby, but you can get paid for literally like if you're a chef for like cooking. Yeah, if you're just able to do that, then it's easier to scale your brand than than a lot of other different ways. So that's why I think that everybody should at least consider creating some type of content.
Fantastic. And so, listen, we're trying to be practical here, right?
Yes, sir.
How can then somebody today, right, start creating a YouTube channel? So could you talk about like the tools they can use, any techniques that they can use in order to start their YouTube channel?
So I mean, for me, all I really got, because I already have like an iPhone, which is really all you need, camera wise. But the only thing that I got was a tripod and then editing software. If you have a phone, a tripod, and editing software, you can just get a lot of things done, and then basically kind of just scale up from there. Uh, the big thing when you're starting out is just honing pacing and honing storytelling, because once you have that down, then it engages people to want to watch your video. When you do actually start getting better equipment, now you don't want the sound to be horrible, right? So if you do have bad sound on your iPhone, then it might be beneficial to also get a mic. But the point of the matter is, just as long as you're able to, you know, have a decent looking video and you're able to create it in a way in which people want to pay attention, the actual quality of the video itself doesn't necessarily matter as much as people may think. There are people that have like studio cameras that don't really do very well on the platform just because they don't really know how to actually make a YouTube video. You feel what I'm saying? And it's difficult. It takes time, but uh I would just advise anybody to, save your money. Don't really put in a ton of money in the front end unnecessarily.
Yeah, and I think it's because of all the different expenses at the beginning that sometimes stop people right from recording. But I think as far as we are concerned with this podcast, I know we started with no mic, and then with time you kind of have to like improve, and so that you can produce good content, right? And so yeah, thanks so much, Q, for the conversation we had today. Very insightful.
Oh no, absolutely appreciate you for having me on, even though this is both for a podcast. I felt like you were an amazing host. But yeah, no, yeah, again, just emphasizing the fact that anybody really can start the content, and the best time to get it started is as soon as possible. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
As soon as possible.
right.
Make a plan and then get it started.
The best time to start a YouTube channel was in 2004. The next best
Mhm.
time is today.
Yes, that's a bar right there. That's
From
a
the
bar
book.
right there.
That was from the book, but thanks.
If you'd have never said that, I would have just I would have believed.
Hey, giving credit where credit is due.
Nah, I feel you. I feel you. That's real. That's real.
Yeah.
But yeah, make sure to like, comment, make sure to like the video, and appreciate you guys for hanging out with us today. And keep grinding and keep being a part of the 1%. We'll get at you guys in the next video.